Welcome back, Connect fam. Your girl Stitch is here, and our amazing guest co-host, Miss London, filling in for our gal pal Sandy. Thank you so much. And I'm excited about our next guest. Please help me welcome the estate planning attorney extraordinaire and co-founder of Flourish Law Group. Welcome to our show, Miss Lauren Klein. Hi, Lauren. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, lovely ladies. Thank you for having me.
We are so ready to learn about estate planning and how to protect those assets.
Yes. So, Lauren, we're going to jump straight into this. You know, we are pretty much on the verge of the great wealth transfer. What can you really tell us about building generational wealth right now? We're hearing a lot about this. What can you tell us?
So you're so correct, ladies. We are on the verge of a significant transfer of wealth. Over the next decade, they're estimating that trillions of dollars are going to be passed down from grandparents and parents to their beneficiaries. And so this is the best time, the most important time to normalize estate planning. Flourish Law Group, we are very big on educating the community, letting everyone know that estate planning is not just for the wealthy. This is something that everyone needs so they can build generational wealth. We'll talk about that, build a legacy for their family, and protect their children. It's so, so important, and it's the best time to talk about it. I really believe that.
And I want to ask you, many successful business women and entrepreneurs are parents. What do we need to know, or what do parents really need to put into place to feel secure about their family's future? And maybe for someone like me who may have nieces or nephews or cousins or daughters or sons, like, what can we put in place now?
So I am very passionate about working with women and especially moms, because I am a mother of two little boys, and it is so important to make sure that you protect what you have, that, what we work so hard for as business owners out in the world. And so it really is super important to think about having an estate plan in place, having a trust in place for our children. And I just want to bust the myth. You do not need to be super wealthy. You do not need to have $12 million plus to need to create a trust. You also need a will where you're naming guardians for your minor children. So if something happens to you and your partner, if you have one, you can name who's going to take care of your children, who you want to pass those values down to, rather than having a judge decide who will take care of your children, which as a mom, that is absolutely terrifying to me. So we help our clients make sure they have guardians in place in case something happens to them. And then it's very important to make sure that you understand protecting assets, asset protection, protecting assets from taxes down the road, making sure your family does not have to go through the probate process. Those trillions of dollars that are going to be passed down, there will be so much lost to court fees and attorney's fees if people do not get their plan in place and understand how to avoid the probate process, which we can talk about today.
Wow. Now, I'm yet to have children and I'm unwed, but when should a family start to concern themselves about protecting their assets? Is it ever too early or soon?
Never too early. Once you turn 18, it is key that you get an estate plan in place. Even if you're a college student with zero assets, it is so important that you have at least a durable power of attorney in place so you can name someone to make decisions on your behalf if you're incapacitated, or to make healthcare decisions for you. So we always have our clients set up at least a will, a last will and testament where they name guardians for their minor children. But a last will and testament typically does not do the whole job. It is part of the homework. But if you don't put assets in a trust or name certain beneficiary designations, which we always take a step back with our clients and look at all of their assets to understand what they need. We don't do cookie cutter estate plans at Flourish Law Group. We try to really look at what do you have, what are your plans, and where are you going? So in addition to that last will and testament, we also typically have our clients create a revocable living trust that they can then put assets in, kind of like a backpack. And those assets avoid the probate process, which means you're going to save your family anywhere from 1% to 7% of the estate that you're going to inherit. Because what happens is you have to pay court fees and attorney's fees if you don't have the probate avoidance mechanisms in place, like a revocable trust. And also make sure you fund the trust. So a lot of people go to estate planning attorneys, they get their documents in place, they never fund the trust, they never put the assets in the trust. It's not going to avoid probate unless it's done properly. And so also, if you have probate assets, sometimes it can take over 2 years for your family to get access to those funds, which is a very, very long time for a family to wait when they want access to the money. You need children to get access, whether they're adult children or minor children. So the two really most important steps are getting your will and trust in place. And then, like I said before, getting your power of attorney and healthcare doc in place. So you're covered while you're alive and after your lifetime.
I want to switch gears a little bit. So a lot of people think a will covers their assets and ultimate decisions. Why, or true or not true, one, why is a will not enough, or is it?
In most cases, a will is not enough because it will not protect the assets from the probate process. Okay. So just to dive a little bit deeper, the probate process means that your family or loved ones has to go before a judge. All of the people you're giving them to become public. You have to pay fees from 1% to 7% because in most cases you have to hire an attorney and you have to pay court fees. And like I said, you have to wait sometimes over 2 years. So a will itself will not avoid that entire process. And so it's just really, it's an incomplete estate plan for most people. In addition, when you have a trust in place rather than just a will, your assets for your children can be protected from creditors and can be protected from estate taxes down the road. So right now, we can, as US citizens or permanent residents of the United States for tax purposes, we can give away or die with over $12 million. That's a lot of money. Married couple, that's like $26 million. It's a lot. But we don't know what that number is going to be down the road. It was very, very low before. It was under $1 million. Not all of us have $26 million, but South Florida real estate, a lot of us have $1 million. You know, real estate's going crazy. So
right.
Really important to build generational wealth, to keep assets in trust when it makes sense. Again, we don't do cookie cutter plans, to make sure that you're protecting your children and setting themselves up to build wealth. A lot of people go to their estate planner and then they never go back, and the plan doesn't work when they die or when they become incapacitated. We're all about, and if looking for any estate planning attorney, should find someone who's all about building relationships, checking in every year, making sure things work when you actually need them to.
I love it. And I agree. This is really an important conversation. I know we mentioned that earlier. And thank you so much, Lauren, for dropping these gems freely. Where can viewers find out more about your services, London, and how they can, Lauren, how I'm getting Lauren and I'm getting London, all crosshairs with me.
But put it together, you got Lauren London. Shout out Lauren London.
It's a whole other actress right there. But Lauren, how can our Connect fam really connect with you? Because I know they want to right now.
Absolutely. So you can always go to our website, flourishlawgroup.com. You can get in contact with us there. And I'm very active on Instagram, lawyer Lauren Klein, or at Flourish Law Group. We would love to connect with you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. And again, for dropping all the gems and like London said, all the keys there. So Connect fam, I hope you were taking notes, because it's just as important to protect your assets as it is to build the wealth. As you're building, you want to make sure that it's protected so it can actually go to the next generations and other generations to come. So don't go anywhere. Get your tea, get your water, whatever it is that you need to get. When we come back, we're going to be sitting with Alexis Quintel, the entrepreneur and CEO of Ross Arum PR and Marketing Agency.